Hey guys, this is Chris here again, and today I'm reviewing The Horror Network from Wild Eye Releasing. And The Horror Network is an anthology film, and I actually do really recommend this movie, um, specifically for one particular movie or one particular short film that's in this anthology. Um, the first story is called 3 a.m., and it is about this woman who she's like a paranoid woman. She keeps hearing noises or thinks she hears noises or sees things everywhere she's going at night, and until she comes across this Jack in the Box in her house, which she doesn't remember ever being hers or why somebody gave this to her. She's not sure why. There's a little twist at it, so I'm not going to ruin what it is. But then we jump right into the next story, which I'm really thrilled to talk about. It's called Edward. And I'm actually not going to ruin anything for it because it's really, really good. It's my favorite one of the entire movie. Very, very well done, very well executed, and really good acting in it. This guy's in a therapist's office, and he's talking to his therapist about why he doesn't want to fall asleep because he goes places that he doesn't want to go, and he thinks that he might be responsible for a local murder. It's really, really well done and really good, and I highly recommend it. It was so suspenseful, and it all takes place in one room, pretty much the entire thing, and it's really, really good. Highly recommend that story. Then we jump into a movie or a story called The Quiet One about a young girl who has a hearing aid, and people are making fun of her when she's on a bus ride home from school. So she takes the hearing aid off, and because of this, she doesn't hear her phone ring. She doesn't hear that. She doesn't realize that she drops her phone. Um, she is actually supposed to be picked up from her mom, but her mom sends somebody else to do it, and so she doesn't get that text from her. So this guy keeps trying to follow her, and she keeps getting scared and running away. And there's kind of a little twist on that. This it was okay. It was just a little confusing because there wasn't very much going on in it except for this girl trying to run away from this guy, and it was just really kind of confusing. On it kept cutting to flashbacks between like some doll, which didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. If you've seen this and you understand what the flashbacks to the little doll, like it's like a little doll in a corner with blood on it, let me know because I was confused during that story. But then it jumps to another one called Merry Little Christmas, and wow, this that story was really really weird. I was so confused on what was going on. I think it's a foreign story, and I'm not sure what language it was in. I'm not good with deciphering those, but the story it apparently takes place on Christmas Eve, but there's nothing in the story that relates to Christmas whatsoever. If it wasn't for the fact that it's called Merry Little Christmas or the fact that one of the characters says Christmas Eve in it, you wouldn't know that it was taking place on Christmas. Um, but it has to deal with like this couple who is like somebody in their family committed suicide. They've been raped. They've been all this stuff happened to them ever since they were little kids. They've seen bad, horrible things all their life, and they're just trying to help their sister out. This guy's trying to help his sister out, but he keeps having her talk about horrible things that she's seen when she was little. It was a very, very confusing movie or story. And some of the imagery, though, is extremely, extremely graphic and weird. This image on the front cover here comes from that story. And when it cuts to this little, it's like a little, I don't know if it's a flashback or if it's just like supposed to be like a resemblance of something that he's done or seen. But it cuts to this thing right here trying to crawl and escape away from being chained up to rape and murder some other thing. It's really weird, and this was the best part of that story, but it was also really confusing and kind of weird. Um, but I do advise watching this story, and it was really really cool. Then it cuts to this one called the Deviant One, and I didn't care for this one at all. It was shot in black and white, but you could easily tell that it was just shot normally with a black and white. In editing, they made a black and white thing over it, and it was just like it kept cutting to scriptures from the Bible about a gay man wanting to have sex with someone and should be punished, and then this guy does it, and then he punishes the guy he does it with, and then it cuts back to another scripture, and it cuts back to him punishing the guy even more and doing more horrible things with the body, and then going to church right afterwards. It just wasn't interesting. It was really stupid. I thought it was definitely the weakest one of the entire story, and if they took out that story, the movie would have been a really good anthology film. But that ending, that to have the end with that story, just wasn't interesting at all and just made the movie kind of go down a little bit. But other than that, it was a really, really well done anthology film. And I advise you guys to check this out if you have not. It's called The Horror Network from Wild Eye Releasing. I got a lot more movies that I'm going to be reviewing from them coming up soon, so definitely check these out. And I do recommend The Horror Network. So see you next time. Later.